Absolutely. Yeah, take it to Lindsay, go back and put it in there, regular basis, so. It's all right, but that's what we're gonna do. I would. Second. Yeah, that would make them. It's the property. I think to play black video games on classic. I see why things. I'm have to get you all holding back. All right. All right. Well, we're gonna get started if you guys join. Yeah, and Wendy, if you'd like to come over, have the graduates in the front row here. Are you okay? What's wrong? Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. Welcome to the Digital Media Institute graduation. And we're really pleased to have you guys all here, and everybody who's online. If you guys can hear me, I'm hoping everybody's been able to join on the Zoom, which is why I've got my headphones in. So we wanted to really honor you guys. This is one of the things that we really genuinely love to do with our students, because we love you guys a lot, and we know that you guys have gone through something very difficult. It's a real challenge, and we thank you for coming. And I wanted to, first of all, acknowledge everybody that's made this a possibility, for not just for the students, but for the family members that have sacrificed to be here, that have sacrificed time and money, because this is not an inexpensive place to come to school. And we totally acknowledge that, and we thank you for making that sacrifice for your kids and for their future, because it's a big deal, and we genuinely appreciate that. Also wanted to say thank you to Elizabeth Boynton and Rhonda Rogers. Elizabeth is our operations coordinator, and Rhonda, if you've ever done any financial aid work, you've spoken with her on the phone many times. So thank you both. We really appreciate you for everything that you do. We also want to thank Jim Dean and the Biomedical Research Foundation. We are a division of BRF, and without them, we're not here. And so they have supported us for the last 10 years. This is actually our 11th year of being here in this building, and we genuinely appreciate everything they've done for us and everything they do to keep the school running. It is not an easy thing, and we're genuinely appreciative of that. One of the things that I get to do is I get to give the commencement address, which, let's be honest, you guys, this ends up being my final lecture. So, I read a quote, and there are tons of quotes that you find on Instagram. I mean, thousands of them, if we're being honest. And I found one that Steve Jobs, it's at least attributed to Steve Jobs. When a storm comes and a fisherman can't fish, he mends the nets, right? And that makes sense, right? If you can't go out and do what it is that you're planning on doing, do something that's related to what it is that you intend to be doing. Because storms, they pass, And when it's time to fish again, you want to make sure that you can actually do the work that you're supposed to be doing. Right? And I read that and I thought that's fascinating because I think that has a lot to do with what we try to do as digital artists, which is, yeah, I have lots of dreams and there's a lot of things that I want to try and do, but some days it feels like I'm going backwards, or some days the things that I want to do, I'm not able to do for whatever reason that is. Because let's be honest, life is hard and sometimes things get in the way of our dreams. But I want to I want to say it's important to keep working on your dreams, no matter whether it's actually doing it or working on a demo reel or something along those lines, because you got to be ready for when that opportunity strikes. Um, I've got a great example of this, and this is one of those things that just happened in life for me last week. I got the opportunity to talk to an animation director. You would know him. Um, he's done a lot of things that you've seen before, and I just had a really a great opportunity to talk to him last week, and we got to talking about honestly the last 4 years. I mean, we've been through some stuff in the last 4 years. Let's be honest, right? COVID, obviously, and then there are a lot of other things. And I want to talk specifically about the animation and visual effects world. What happened in that? So COVID hits, right, and everything stops. The whole world stopped. Let's be honest about that. And then COVID was over, and animation and visual effects got ridiculously busy. And then, just when things were going along beautifully, the actors and writers decided, hey, it's time to go on strike. Cool. All right. So for 9 months, they didn't do anything. But if you're an animator or a visual effects artist, all the work that you do is at the end. So if nobody's shooting anything and nobody's writing anything and nobody's doing anything, it's not just 9 months, it's actually like 18 months because it takes a while for the work to get done so that we can do the work that we do. Now, this probably doesn't sound like the most inspiring commencement address, right? But I'm going to get there, I promise. I really do. But I had a lot of friends, like friends of mine that I started with in this industry. I started in this industry 30 years ago. I have friends that worked on the original Tron. That you guys know that one. That goes back to like '82, right? And and he's one of the best artists I know in my life. And he's like, dude, I haven't done anything in 6 months. And he's one of the most experienced artists I've ever met. Like, fantastic. And I talked to other people like, hey, yeah, I'm wrapping it up because I can't work. I got to feed my family, right? This happens. And so we've been through it as an industry. It's been one of those things that like this has been one of the strangest times I've actually ever seen. And I'm talking to this director last week, and he said, when all of this hit, he goes, I had like 4 or 5 projects that were greenlit and they were ready to go, and I was about to go into production on all of them. And he goes, and they all got canceled. What do you do when it all falls apart like that? When all these dreams that you've made and all these plans that you've laid out for yourself, they go away. Well, so as we're sitting there talking, he pulls out an iPad, a big one, like this size, and he starts flipping through it, and he starts showing me the nets that he's been mending. Like he spent all this time designing characters and building new stories and building new animations that he had never thought of before, but he had the time to do it because he had to. And he started writing children's books. And all of these things happened as a result of this storm that had occurred in his life. And he said to me, he goes, if we're being really honest about the industry that we're in, I don't personally feel like things even turned on, really started to turn back on until Christmas. I mean, like 6 weeks ago. And he goes, but it's about to get really busy. And the thing that I found really fascinating about this was he laid down the foundations for himself, which is going to end up being 10 years worth of work for him. And um, I saw that as being a great example of mend your nets, Even if you're not doing exactly what it is that you want to be doing, you will be doing that at some point. And what I'm saying to you guys is keep working on your demo reels, keep learning new skills, keep coming up with new ideas, because I promise you it's gonna result in something. And it's not time wasted, even though it may feel like it. But one of the things that we've always talked about in class is it's about experience. You need to be doing the work and putting the time in, and that sort of thing. And I promise you it will turn into results. And sometimes you find when like things don't go exactly the way that you want them to go, that's the beginning of a new beginning. That's where like all of a sudden, wow, I'm doing something completely different, than I ever thought. Because I'll use myself as an example. I don't typically do that, but I will. I don't stand here because I decided that I wanted to move to Shreveport to become a teacher. I'm going to be honest with you guys about that. I moved here in 2009 to run a visual effects studio and to do all that. And as things I've already said, things they do this sometimes in the industry. And the job that I was working on, it came to an end, and I still had a family to feed. I got an opportunity, a door opened for me to just do some simple teaching, and it turned out I loved it. Like I really loved teaching. I didn't love it as much at the beginning as I do now, but I turned out it was. Does that make sense? Right. Um, but it was one of those things where I started doing the work that had been given to me, and I found out that I actually really loved doing this kind of work. And so you just never know when things come to an end, what's about to start. And so I encourage you all, keep working, keep trying, and I promise you the jobs are going to come. We are about to hit something pretty impressive with where we are in the industry. So that's my final lecture to you guys. And I want you all to know, I mean, you guys, family, friends, everybody in this class is incredibly special to me. And I hope you guys understand that, like, as a school, DMI, we're obviously not a huge school, right? So we know our students well. And the time that we spend with them, I mean, we spend hours a day and we get to know each other actually really well over the course of a year. And so we very much care about what happens to you guys, where you go. And we're very proud of you guys. So um I wanted to point out to you guys, and that thus ends my thing. But if you haven't taken a look at what's on the monitors back there, there is some work from several students on there. But the one that I'm personally the most proud of is what we all did as a class. And there's a commercial that we did in Unreal Engine for a Range Rover, and it plays through here. I am consistently impressed by what my students are able to create. And I always say this to them. It's like, okay, I'm going to show you guys the foundation of how all this stuff works. And as soon as they start to figure out the foundations of things, they start going on YouTube and finding all these other things that they're going to teach me. And and I always talk about how when I come to class, I learn more in class than they do. And it's totally true because, they'll come and show me something. It's like, wait, I didn't know you could do that. That's really cool. And so it becomes this huge collective learning experience, and that's really truly one of the funnest things that happens. And I'm so excited when how many times did Yad come on and show us like, hey, Mr. Craig, I did this thing. I'm like, I didn't know you could even do that with that software. Yeah, and yeah. So it's been a fun experience, and I'm super proud of everybody and of what everybody's accomplished. Well, now is the time for us to recognize our graduates. So if you guys would like to stand, I'm going to have you all come up. I'm going to start with the ones that are online. I hope you guys that are online can hear me. If not, I'm sorry. I have Yassine, and I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name yet because I don't want to do it in injustice. So, Cody Odell. Cody, I know you're in North Carolina at the moment, so when you get back to town, we'll talk about this. All right, Shawan Smith, come on up. All right, wow. I'm gonna give this to you, and we're gonna And let's see. What we got to do is I'm going to shake your hand. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. And I'll have you step over this way. And then, all right. Thank you. Dion McShann. Thank you. And congratulations. All right. Thank you. Let's see. I have Joseph Molnar and Joe. I hope you're on, but if not, we will talk about this shortly. Wendy McFay, please come up. How are you, sweetie? You doing okay? Very good. All right. Do you want to stand next to Dion? I believe that's all I've got. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please say congratulations to our graduating class. I also want to say specifically to Juan, he wins the award for the longest drive. Let's be honest. He came in from all the way in from Georgia. So for this, and genuinely appreciate making the reference. Um, that concludes our graduation ceremony. We have upstairs. We would love for you guys to see the school, actually, because this is not the school. I mean, it's the building, but our school is upstairs. We also have some cake and some chips and stuff and drinks up in the commissary up there, and we'll do that. Yeah. I'll show you guys. All right, let me kill the thing here. And
Hey, Cody, how y'all doing?
I hope they're on. It doesn't say that anybody's on. Well, I was streaming it on YouTube, so maybe